Right, so hello and welcome to my channel. Welcome to Knot Patterns. Okay, quickly I'm going to show us how to cut a short knicker, the simplest and easiest method ever. Alright, so this is supposedly our fabric, okay, or rather we're going to make this pattern. You make this pattern and then use it to cut your short knicker. So let's go. First of all, we're going to identify a line by the side where we're going to be starting all our measurements. So it means we're going to mark ½ inch by the side here. This is where all the measurements are going to be starting from. Alright, all the vertical measurements, alright, all the horizontal measurements. Now for the vertical measurements, I'm going to mark a line up here. Every measurement up vertically will start from this line, right, coming down. So first thing we're going to look at is the measurement, okay. We're using a waist measurement of 30, a lap of 24, the knee measurement is what, 22, and the length of the short is 21. Okay, so first let us identify the length of the short. So the length of the short is 21, okay, plus 2 inches hemming allowance, that becomes 23. All right, so let's still mark 21 here and 23. All right, so quickly join these two lines together. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do quickly is to get the waist measurement, right? And since the short knicker that is going to have elastic on the waist, I'm going to allow this to be straight. Okay, since it's going to have elastic on the waist. If not, I would minus ½ inch here so that I will shape it in, but it's having elastic, so there's no need doing that. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to check our waist measurement. Waist is 30. When you're cutting, you divide waist measurement by 4. If you divide 30 by 4, you will have 7.5. All right, we're going to have 7.5. This is 7.5 right here. Can you see this? But since this short knicker is having elastic on the waist, okay, we are going to add 1.5 inch allowance to the waist measurement. All right, so that becomes our waist at 9 there. So we're going to come down here and still mark the 9, okay, and we will join these two lines, these two dots together. So join them together. All right, the next thing is to come down here by ½ inch, okay, and do it this way. The trouser is fitted in front, it shifts in front a little bit lower by ½ inch. The next thing is to get our crotch length, okay. So to get crotch length, we'll divide the waist measurement by 4. So we divide 30 by 4, you will have 7.5, all right. And since the short knicker, we could add, 1 inch to it to make it free, all right, free. So we use 8.5, okay. So this depth of the crotch now becomes where we'll mark as our tie line. Can you see that? We'll come up by 2 inches to locate the hip line or the hip area. See this? Hip line, the hip area, okay. And then we'll come out here by ½ inch, okay, and we'll connect it back to the waistline. All right. So the next thing for us to do now is to get the tie or the lap. We say the lap is 24. Divide 24 by 2, you will have 12. So this is our 12 right here. Guys, this is very simple, and if you are yet to subscribe to my channel at this point, please guys subscribe, and I will really appreciate it. All right, so at this point you could use your free hand, okay. You could use your free hand to simply curve this here to here. If you have a French curve, you can go ahead and use it, okay, as simple as this, okay. The next thing is what? The length of this trouser. And remember we said that the knee is what? The knee is 22. So divide 22 by 2, you will have what? 11. So this is 11 right here. 11 right here, okay. It simply means we are joining this point to this point. Okay. Now you can see this line is coming a bit curved in, okay. So for you not to have shortage when you are hemming your trouser, you can come out here by ½ inch and you join here back to this point here. All right, guys, by so doing, guys, man, we are done with drafting the front piece of this shot. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cut it out. Simple and straightforward. So this is the pattern for our front piece. Okay, we'll now use this pattern for the front piece to draft our back piece. Okay, so for us to draft our back piece, we're going to keep this pattern here such that we're having an allowance of up to 3 inches here. Okay, and here's already 3 inches, so we'll keep it this way. Let me place it. Let me place this on it so it will not move. Let me press it. So you see, at this point now we are going to come up here, okay, and measure 2 inches up here, okay, and still come out here and measure 2.5 inches. So you see these 2 inches here, we'll join this to this, okay, and this that we have here, remember, now we are going to mark 2.5 inches here, okay, and still come down here and mark 2.5 inches, such that we are joining this line with this line here. Okay, all right, now let us simply trace this. Okay, let us simply trace this. Just simply trace it to mark as the beginning point of our back piece. All right, so after we have done that, we are simply going to shift this forward to this mark here. All right, to this mark here, place this here. All right, so as to get the back curve. Now, very important, when covering this curve at the back here, it won't be as deep as the front one. We'll come out here at about 1/2 inch, okay, then we'll make this curve. All right, at about 1/2 inch, then we'll make this curve. Okay, so this curve is not as deep as the one for the front. Okay, something like this, very important. So we can go ahead and cut on this shape like this. Cut this way. Cut this way. Well, guys, so as far as cutting a short nika is concerned, guys, we are done. Okay, so you can use this and place it on your fabric to produce 2 front pieces, and use this place on your fabric to produce 2 back pieces, and you will be done cutting your short nika. All right, and mind you, when you are placing this on your fabric, the fabric has to be folded into 2, so that when you are done cutting, you have 2 front pieces. And when you keep this also on your fabric, you have to fold your fabric into 2, so that when you are done cutting, you have 2 back pieces. And guys, the next thing is for us to go ahead and sew this short nika. I'll be dropping a video on how to sew it. Please subscribe when I drop the video. You'll be notified. Okay, thank you so much. Welcome to Nat Patterns. Thanks for watching. Thank you.